Hello, my name is Luis Narvaez, and I'm a past reviewer and interviewer for the Gates Scholarship. I would like to thank Michelle Howard, Director of Scholarships for the entire Chicago Public Schools District, for inviting me to speak to you about my experience with the interview process of applicants. So let's get started. The first question I wanted to answer for you was, what do I think was the hardest component of the student interview? I had a difficult time extracting from students something personal for them to share that was not addressed elsewhere in the application. So, as you come into the interview, do think of examples and experiences that you can share with the interviewer that you have not addressed anywhere in the application, or pinpoint to something you would like to expand on as well. I always find that to be very helpful. The second question was, what did every student fail to share? Again, I want to go back to that personal situation where I really want a student to address more of their personal background, their story, the families that they come from, their cultural, ethnic, racial background, things of that nature that I did not necessarily get a chance to hear from students last time. Remember, we can always take a look at your scores, your grades on paper, but that will only give us one part of your story. We want to be able to hear the rest of the story. Their question is, what would you have liked to have heard from students? So I want to go back to the same thing. Open up a little bit more. Tell us, why are you unique from the hundreds and thousands of applicants that Gates receive every year? What makes you special? What makes you unique? Several of your classmates from your high school and the district will be applying to the scholarship. Some of you may have the same grades, the same GPA, the same test scores. Perhaps even you have the interest in applying to the same major. So what is it exactly that sets you apart from everyone else? That's really what we want to hear during the interview. What can students expect? The process will be very quickly. You will be hearing from the Gates administration if you make it to that round of the process. And when you hear that, you will be provided with the contact information for the interviewer. Make sure that you reach out to them as soon as possible to schedule that interview, which will likely take place at a very public space, such as a library or a coffee shop. Those were my favorite spots to interview with students. Your attire does matter, so make sure that you're dressed to impress. The way that you were dressed for this interview, where you can get thousands of dollars worth of scholarships, will speak very highly of you. So remember to show us your Sunday's best, the best attire that you can wear for the interview. Put it on and make sure that you leave a good impression. Would bringing any additional documents, portfolios, etc. help? Definitely, you're more than welcome to bring additional materials to the interview that you think would help us in determining your potential. So, for instance, a copy of your resume. Some of you may not even have a resume right now. That's something that we would welcome you to bring in to the interview to ensure that all of your credentials can be taken a look at on a fairly quickly manner. So bring those. If you have some sort of portfolio where you have put together articles or artifacts that you've been working on, bring those as well. And then lastly, what did I want to hear from students? Again, I want students to be very personal, to open up, share stories, personal stories that are just unique to you that nobody else will be able to share. Those are the type of things that we want to hear about. Don't be afraid to talk about how your background has had an impact on you, your leadership experiences, whether they may be inside the classroom, outside the classroom, at work, at church, at a community-based organization, or elsewhere. Those type of things are going to be very unique to your own experience. That's what we'd like to hear. With that being said, once again, I would like to thank Michelle Howard for the invitation to speak to you all, and best of luck with this process. Congratulations to the class of 2019.